Hey everybody, it's Dive Girl Dab, and today I want to talk to you about Pintels and Gudgeons. And what a neat idea that is, right? So this larger bracket will be bolted into the rudder, and it will drop, and it has a pin, so it's called a pintle, and the receptacle piece here is called a gudgeon, and that gets bolted onto the transom. It's a tapered fit, and I'm concerned, I'm going to turn it upside down just so it doesn't fall on my toe. I'm concerned about having some kind of a safety pin in this area so that, you know, if an Orca comes along and bumps it, that I'm not left in a really not so great situation where the rudder nearly comes off, or partly comes off, or comes off all the way, and it's going to be oak. I don't think it's going to float very well. It could surprise me, and it's going to have brass attached to it, and copper and epoxy and fiberglass. I don't know that it's going to float, but I am a scuba diver. But my thinking is, let's just try to prevent that, and let's put a retaining pin in here. Well, you know, I have shopped and shopped and shopped and poked around and looked at products, and there's a lot of products out there. Well, the products that I'm seeing are things, I mean, you're going to spend $15 a piece, or like up to $40 for some kind of a pin to go in here. And I was like, there's got to be another way. This isn't rocket science. And so I looked around, and I kind of like the design of like a blanket pin, you know, where you could just clip it on there, run it through, and clip it back together. And yes, I did this one just for fun. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, I have bronze wire for TIG welding. I have stainless wire for TIG welding. I have copper wire for TIG welding. Can I make something out of that? Well, here's some of my copper wire. And yes, you can. But the problem is that it's maybe like 1 millimeter, which is the size of a gnat's ass. Just not very big, not very strong. If something's pushing up against that, will it shear off? Probably. And by the way, a set of calipers has been one of the most important things that I bought to help me shop for parts and to see what I need. It is just absolutely essential. So I looked at this stainless wire, and it is a little bigger at 1.65, so just under 2 millimeters. But it's small enough that it's still kind of malleable. And so I looked around at all these different pins, and I was like, man, I should be able to make something that kind of looks like this, right? That I can just snap it open and run it through. So I'm going to mark these and then put it on the drill press and drill a hole through there. At some angle yet to be determined. And then I'm thinking, you know, I've got some, I went to Fair Wind Fasteners. I just love those people. They take such good care of you, and you're always getting great quality there. And I got some 5/8 inch washers to go on here so things won't ride up against the gudgeon. And I'm thinking, you know, that like that pin can go through, well, not that one, but this part here, right through there and clip on. And I'm kind of almost thinking that I made up some other ones because I've been sitting here futzing. And like, if you look at the shank on that, that's pretty close to what I should get. And these are the first ones that I did, and they might even be the closest to what I need, so that it doesn't slop around, you know, too much. But, you know, by making these myself, I can make them whatever size I want. And so if I went to go buy something like this, I mean, this was a boatload of money, really. And I'm like, that's just like stupid simple. Let's make our own. So, yeah. Yeah, let's make our own. And so really all I need to do that is a wire and a couple pairs of pliers and some kind of dimension that I want to go to. So let's sit down, we'll make one. All right, I'm going to see if I can mess this up on camera. So I start with the little ring here. Now if you look at these pliers, you notice that they're kind of a half moon shaped, and then it gets thinner at the end and thicker down here. So choose where you want to grab the wire based on the size of arc that you want. So that's probably pretty good there. There. And you know, it is wire, so you can go along and manipulate it as you need to. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to come down this side here and give it a turn. So that gets us, oop, I went the wrong way. Okay, well, that's easy enough. And if you have a couple pair of pliers, sometimes that makes life easier like this. Okay, so here we are. We got this part already set up, and now we're going to start our turn. And we want this to be where we turn into it, which means I'm going to grab it this way, I think. And I think that's a good size. And I'm going to turn it towards me, and I'm going to get it a little more choked up so I get a wider bit here because I want a big circle. And so pretty much what I'm going to do here is, yeah, that's good. Well, I want it to come down here. We're going to start the turn right about there. Okay. And I'm going to come this way because I want to come up over the back of it. And then I have to rotate so I still have an arc. And this is going to be too short. So we'll take it this way then. Let's see, we want it to go. Oh, that's just going to make it there. Well, I didn't line up too bad. Not terrible. I mean, like I said, it's wire, so you can play around with it. And then I kind of like to have a little bit of an arch at the keeper end here. And I'm going to take a little file, get the sharp edges off so you don't scratch your hide off. It's always nice to make things comfortable to work with, especially if you're using your hands. And now, do I have the right tension? I probably don't. So we can spread these out just a little bit. And there we go. So here is another clip. And I can't, there we go. See, I think when they're smaller, I have a harder time using them. This one's easy. But, you know, I'm not going to be taking it on and off all the time. So a smaller one might be kind of cool. So there you go. Don't spend a bunch of money on things like this. Go buy your own stuff or make your own stuff. And you can do things like take all your old cat toys and put them on a piece of that wire, and what is old is new again. Oh, Eddie. Yeah. It's the simplest toys he likes the most. The Q-tips were kind of interesting because I just took the wire and heated it up with a lighter and pushed them through, and then I put some airline tubing in between them to give them a little spread. And those are off of feed sacks. It doesn't have to be expensive. Oh, and I put the wooden ball on there just to give it some more like weight so it would have a more even motion. But I did it up higher so it wouldn't smack him in the face. And when it goes and gets all used up and he gnaws the Q-tips off, well, I can just put some more on there, rebuild it. Oh, yeah. Well, I have all kinds of options now to pin these up, which makes me happy. Boy, look at the difference. This is the Pintel that came off of it, and you can see how thin it is. That wall just crumpled up. Probably hit something for one thing, but these are going to be much stronger. And part of the reason I went to Fair Winds is that I did need some attachment hardware. Well, in my strainer I needed hardware and a couple of things. And when it comes to like boat hardware, I trust Fair Winds. They just do such a good job with their products. It's always good quality. So, I mean, if you're going to spend the money on bronze and brass fittings, you know, get the good attachments for them. And a little bit of welding wire to make your own little doodads. I mean, if it doesn't work, I've lost 20 minutes of my crafting time, and that doesn't really break my heart. So, you know, maybe you too can make useless things out of wire just for practice. Well, I'm Dive Girl Deb. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.